Hello, this is Phil Ernest, hiking to San Jacinto Peak. The San Jacinto trailhead is a 1 hour and 10-minute drive east of Riverside. The GPS coordinates can be found in the description below. For this hike, you'll need a hiking permit and an adventure pass. Information on how to get those is also in the description below. As you can see, the sign says 5¼ miles to San Jacinto Peak. This is the Marion Mountain trailhead. To the top from this point, it's actually 7 miles. So keep that in mind, 7 miles to the top starting at this trailhead. Okay, so start time 6:15 on this hike to San Jacinto. One of the things I want to tell you about is on this hike, this is an altitude hike. Whenever you're hiking altitude, whether it be Mount Baldy, San Jacinto, like this hike, or San Gorgonio, you always want to stay hydrated and drinking enough water. So a little bit of water goes a lot longer in your system than stopping and drinking a whole bunch at one time. So keep that tip in mind. It's very important when hiking altitude so you don't get altitude sickness. Okay, so started at 6:15, it's now 6:45, 30 minutes into this trail, and it's kind of leveled off a little bit from where it was at the start, where it was really steep. So I'm 45 minutes now into this hike, and it's like I said, it's leveled off. This has nice trees giving you some shade along the way. Not able to see much as far as scenery yet. If you're finding this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. And see that logo on the lower right-hand corner of the screen? Please hit that to subscribe to the channel. So in 1 hour, we've been hiking for 1 hour, Mount San Jacinto State Park Wilderness. And 1 hour and 15 minutes into this hike, check out these big boulders. These are pretty cool. Look at this. Huge boulders here. Serious boulder action. Okay, so I'm 1 hour and 20 minutes into this hike. I have hiked 2.6 miles at this point. You're starting to see a little bit of the scenery out there, but this hike that we're doing today, San Jacinto, I consider it's actually one of the 3 hikes that's over 10,000 feet. There are 2 others are San Gorgonio and Mount Baldy. If you can do any one of these 3 hikes and feel confident at doing it, you'll be good to hike anywhere in the world. Himalayas, Mount Kilimanjaro, anywhere. So these are excellent training mountains. Okay, so we're now at the 3 mile mark of this hike, and we're 1 hour and 30 minutes into it. It's supposed to be a 7 mile hike to the top, so a little less than halfway there. Of course, when I get there, I'll be sure to give you the exact mileage that we traveled. One of the things I want to mention, if you have hiking poles, I highly recommend bringing them on this hike, simply because it is steep and you'll need them going down. Look how steep this is. And you could easily fall if you don't have hiking poles to give you balance. This is a pretty cool shape of a tree here. Looks like a slingshot. Okay, so we're now 3.4 miles into this hike. We've been hiking for 1 hour and 45 minutes. So technically we should be halfway at the halfway point right now. This is kind of different, a little valley, just nothing there, whereas all the rest has trees. So close to 2 hours into this hike, 1 hour and 55 minutes into this hike. So we'll come to this part, little intersection in the trail. You'll see a sign here, say Marion Trail, parked right here. This is something important to note. When you come to this sign, you definitely want to go northbound. If you go southbound, you're going to wind up going down to a parking lot, another trailhead. So definitely go northbound when you come to that and started. And it's really leveled off. This hike, after that little break part where I was showing you about, where it has the north and southbound, it's really level. It's very easy now. It levels off at 2 hours and 15 minutes. Much easier and manageable trail to handle after the little break time there. So when you see this sign, continue on staying on this trail. Don't go down there. Again, we're going up and not down. Okay, so there's the San Jacinto Peak, 3.1 miles, that sign says. Let's see how accurate that is, because it said 3.1 down below. I've now been on this trail for 2.5 hours, making my way to the top here. You can see the sun getting in the way. 2 hours and 45 minutes into the trail, and it's really leveled off. This is really easier, I should say, than that first part of the hike. So if you can just get yourself past that little intersection, looks like you'll be on easy street. Okay, so this is some ice that's on the trail, so you want to be very, very careful not to fall when on this part of the hike. Avoid it at all costs. We're at the 3-hour mark of this hike. So when you come to this big tree here, stopped in the trail, so you'll see a rock there, go over the tree and continue on the trail. It's going to continue this way. And so this is it. So don't be confused or tricked by that tree there, and continue on. So we're about 3.5 hours into this hike at this point. So they do have restrooms here, porta potties, and it's the last ones before we go up. So if you need them, this is a good little porta potty rest plot right here before continuing up on the trail. You do need a permit for this hike. I'll leave the information in the description below on how to get that. Okay, so we just hit 10,000 feet elevation gain at this point. As you look out on the trail, we're about 35 minutes from the top. So we're getting closer, probably 15 minutes from the top. Wanted to say, this trail for the most part's pretty well marked, but there are parts of it that sometimes is a little challenging to follow, and if you're having a hard time finding the trail, it's best to stop and look to see if you see other footprints by other people. If you can't see that, then maybe wait till you see somebody else. Just basically don't go off and get lost if you're not sure where the trail is. Too many people have to be rescued every year off trails like this. So hike smart, play it safe. Let's see what this sign says up here. People are saying we're almost there. 0.3 to the peak. That's it. Let's look at the sign. Wow. Feast your eyes. Okay, so check this out. There's a little hut here that people like to. This is in case of bad weather. You can go to get in, escape. Here it is. Let's go inside this little hut and check it out. Nice little place. Yeah, they got some bunk beds. Okay, so from the that little hut that I was showing you, the last place you saw, there is a little bit of rock scrambling like this toward the last stretch. Okay, so the elevation gain was 4,426 feet to this top, and as you see, we are at 10,834 feet, and it took us about 4.5 hours to get here. There's this famous sign, and the miles to get up here, 7.1 miles from the Marion parking lot, 7.1 miles. Check this out. This is the view from high atop San Jacinto, unobstructed view. Look at that. This is why you wake up at 3 in the morning to get out here to start a hike at 6 a.m. to see this hike, to see this view. And there's the panoramic of the rocks, checking it all out, and look at that, down in the valley below. Absolutely fantastic. And if you haven't had enough of that view, look at this. Only thing I can say this is comparable to is Mount Whitney. If you've ever done that from the top, If you would like to see my other hiking videos, please click on the link now. Thank you so much for watching.